chapter 14. Genesis 14. Genesis 14. Genesis chapter 14, beginning with verse 14. Help me, Lord. Genesis 14, beginning with verse 14. When Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he called out the 318 trained men born in his household and went in pursuit as far as Dan. During the night, Abram divided his men to attack them, and he routed them, pursuing them as far as Hobah, north of Damascus. He recovered all the goods and brought back his relative Lot and his possessions, together with the women and the other people, after Abram returned from defeating Chedorlaomer and the kings allied with him. The king of Sodom came out to meet him in the valley of Shaveh, that is the king's valley. Then Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. He was priest of God Most High. And he blessed Abram, saying, "Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator or possessor of heaven and earth, and praise be to God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand." Then Abram gave him a tenth of everything. Then Abram gave him a tithe of everything. I want to talk about give it up for the Lord. Repeat after me, give it up for the Lord. Give it up for the Lord. Last week, my daughter, Camille Carice, baby, she went to Beyonce concert. And while there, it was time for Beyonce to take the stage and perform. The announcer said, "Give it up for Beyonce." They had already given up some money because my daughter's ticket cost $80. But then they gave it up with their mouths. They hollered and they screamed. As Beyonce took the stage to perform. They gave it up with their money, they gave it up with their mouths, and they gave it up with their muscles. They started hollering and screaming, and the singer ladies, and they were dancing right along with Beyonce. Beyonce had to pay one of their bills. They get sick, she's not coming to see them. She's not going to even send a goodwill call. But they gave it up. Beyonce. Kings of comedy. Steve Harvey. Before he brought out D.L. He said, "Show your love." D.L. Hewlett. Forward, praise. Show your love, said the entertainer. Show your love for Burning Man. Oh, yeah. Milk and cookies. You can't Samson's power, David's music, Solomon's wisdom, Jeremiah's balm in Gilead. Show your love for Ezekiel's wheel in the middle of a wheel, Matthew's king, Mark's suffering servant, Luke's great physician, John's word made flesh. Acts coming. Show your love for the one born in Bethlehem, reared in Nazareth, baptized in the Jordan, performed miracles in Galilee, wept over Jerusalem, prayed in Gethsemane. Show your love for the one who one Friday evening died for the sins of the world, and then early Sunday morning got up. Look at your neighbor and say, show your love. He put food on my table. Show your love for the one that keeps your lights on. Show your love for the one that gave you health and strength. Show your love for the one that called you in your right mind. Show your love. Give it up for him. Tell your neighbor, I came to show my love for you. You do know when you love somebody, you can't stay away from their house. I wish I had a witness here. But when you love God, you can't stay away from his house. Lord, give it up for God, not just with our mouths, not just with our muscles, but even with our money. That's what got me. My daughter paid that $80 long before the concert. Long before Beyonce even took the stage. Long before she performed, she already paid her $80 because she knew what Beyonce was going to do. Y'all ain't praying with me. I'm trying to tell you, God may not have shown up on the stage of your life, but since you know what he's going to do, I wish I had a word. You know he's going to perform. I wish you know he's going to do exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask. I wish I had a word. You know he's going to show up. And when he shows up, you know he's going to show out. You know, I used to be shocked at those who don't give to God. I used to be shocked at those who don't give to God, but now I'm more shocked at those who do give to God. What makes a person give to God? What makes a person give it up for God? As tough as times are, what makes a person say, I'm going to give to God? As high as gas prices, as high as the cost of living is, what makes a person say, I don't care how I get, I'm going to give? But what makes a person who just got laid off say, I'm still going to give to God? What makes a person who's on fixed income say, I don't care how fixed it is, I fixed my heart to give to the Lord. What makes a single mother who's raising children without the aid of child support? Even though my baby's father's not giving to support these babies, I'm still going to give to our father. Because when that sorry nigga won't pay child support, Heavenly Father gives me child support. Somebody Genesis 14, you have the first tithe ever given to God. Yeah. Make a note of that. You have the first tithe ever given to God, and it was given by a man named Abram, who later on came to be known as Abraham. He gave the first tithe to the Lord. Now watch this. He did not give to God because he had to. He gave to God because he wanted to. Because there was no law at this time stated that he had to tithe. There was nobody preaching to him, telling him to tithe. Moses had not come on the scene yet. So when he gave to God not because he had to, but because he wanted to. And let me tell you something. Listen to me. When you really, really love somebody, you don't give to them because you have to. You give to them because you want to. You don't put food on the table saying, by law, I'm supposed to do this, guys. You don't give to your husband because you have to. Your wife, that's Valentine's Day, I'm supposed to do this right here. You're going to say, you didn't keep them roses. You know it's like you have to. Trifling. It's your birthday, folks. Get your gift. Here you go. That's what people do on the birthday. Get your gift. Here's your gift. You don't want that. I don't want you to give it to me because you have to. Do it because you want to. And that's the way God is. He don't want us to give it to him because we have to give to him. He wants us to give to him because we want to. That's why the Bible says God loveth a cheerful giver. People who want to give to him. Amen. If somebody gave to you the way we give to God, you would tell them, keep that in your pocket. Get an attitude every time it's time to give to God. It's offering time. Oh, he just killed the spirit. Man, I hate when they do that. Man, we was having a high time, but then we gonna get this as offering time. I can't stand it when they do that. Everything just goes down. When have you ever seen somebody shout around the offering table? We shout on God giving to us, he'll make a way. Yes, he will. He's an on-time God. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Come on, let's give to God. I mean, if he's an on-time God, you ought to want it. Yes, hallelujah. And when you really love somebody, you want to give to them. In fact, you get them roses, you be all excited. You can't get over there fast enough with them roses. I'm going to talk to him with somebody. You get over there, you have them behind your back. Bam. I love you, girl. I love you. These for you. These are for you, baby. Love you so much. Matter of fact, Mama Wine made me some tea cakes last Sunday. She didn't do it because she had to. That's why I got her this little monkey. Say, I love you. This monkey gonna remind you of me, girl. She didn't do it because she had to. With that same love, we want to have that same love for God and be excited about giving to God, giving to him, not because it's a law, but because we want to. everything to the Lord. It says then. What happened, baby? Because it says then Abram. What happened that made Abram want to give to God? What happened? Because it says then Abram gave a tenth to the Lord. What went down that made Abram give to God? I'll tell you what happened. What had happened was the king of Elam had allied with 4 nations to fight against the king of Sodom, who had allied with 3 other nations. The king of Elam won the fight and took the king of Sodom and the Sodomites into captivity, along with Lot, Abram's nephew. Lot got taken into bondage because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong crowd. And I need to tell y'all, that will put you in bondage right there. Running in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong crowd will put you in bondage. And some of y'all are in bondage right now because of some places you can't stay out of. Just come out from among them. That's why a lot of people that's on probation, they tell them, look, there's some crowds, you don't go near. And if we catch you near them, you're going right back in. Because they know that the crowd, those who you associate with, can put you back in bondage. Matter of fact, Plato said you are who you associate with. Hello, somebody. And I said this before, my auntie, she had a goldfish, and when I went to visit her, the only thing swimming there was that goldfish. And I said, Auntie, where your other fish at? She said, they keep dying, baby. She said, the only fish that lives is this goldfish. I said, Auntie, this is the reason other fish keep dying. She said, what do you mean? I said, Auntie, the waste from the goldfish is toxic. And it kills the other fish. Because the other fish are swimming in his mess. And they can't live long in his mess. Because his mess is toxic and it's killing your other fish. I said, Auntie, if you want your other fish to live, you got to separate the goldfish from the rest of the other fish. Y'all ain't praying with me. I'm trying to tell you, you got some goldfish in your life, and their mess is killing you. Hello, somebody. Their mess is suffocating you. Their mess is taking you down. And in order for you to live a full life, you got to come out. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. And so Lot is in bondage with Sodom because he was at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong crowd. But somebody escaped and told Abraham, your nephew Lot was just taken into bondage with Sodom and his possession and his goods. You know what Abraham did? He got 318 men out of his own house. And they went. And with 318 men recovered his possessions, the women, and the other people. He did with 318 men what the king of Sodom couldn't do with 4 nations. Abraham got a victory against overwhelming odds. And the reason he tied was because he knew he wouldn't get these victories on his own. He knew the Lord was helping him. With 318 men, he did what 4 nations couldn't do. And so the reason why he tied, write this down, is because he got a victory in terms of his family. victory in terms of his family, but he also got a victory in terms of his friends. Because it said, with the women and other people. Those were friends. He said, I owe God based upon what he's done for my friends. Some of you here, when you look at what God has done for your friends, coming home, seeing how God has blessed your friends, how God has saved your friends, I owe him. See, we got to learn how to praise God for other people. The Bible says, rejoice with those who rejoice, and mourn with those who mourn. See, you really see who your real friends are, not just when you're down, but when you're also blessed. Every now and then you need somebody who will shout with you. When I look at Tamika Wright in Mount Pleasant, Texas, good friend of the church, I remember her mother was low. Some of the members used to make fun of her because she had a smell. So she couldn't afford to keep the water on. She would come to me and say, Pastor, my water's off. And it's difficult right now. And I remember helping out with the water bill. Church helping out with the water bill. Even went over to the house when they were her kids. Her son, who was a great basketball player at the time and football player. I went over there and they had mattresses on the floor. Couldn't afford cable, but they bought little VHS tapes to watch movie after movie. Time the light would be cut off. Had to buy sometime my son some tennis shoes so he could play basketball. Then 2 years ago, to see her son go into the draft. 17th round. They picked Kendall Wright. $4 million. She moved from her old house. I wish I had a witness in here. Come on, she ain't worried about her lights no more. Ain't worried about her water no more. Got a 2013 Cadillac. When I look at what God has done for my friends, when I look at Jonetta right here, amen, one Sunday I said, what single parent needs some help? And she stood up and said, I need some help. I gave her $60, but as she was walking back, the Lord showed me she ain't going to need too much help much longer because her son is on his way. Hello, somebody. And when I look at what God has done, is doing, and is going to do, I can shout what he's doing for my friends. When I see my friends get new jobs, I can shout. When I see this woman right here who's been all around the world, her son sent her. Hello, somebody. I can praise God. See, you got to learn how to praise God when he blesses your neighbor. Because watch this. When he blesses your neighbor, that means he's in your neighborhood. Hello, somebody. And so while he's passing that blessing, I can shout for her because it ain't no secret what God can do, what he's done for her. Tell your neighbor, I'm praising God for you right now. I'm shouting for you. Hallelujah. Now look at what he's doing for my family. Always. My brother Judge, he dropped all the charges on me. Get this family. Right there for the 4th of July, I saw with all of his children. Now look what he's doing for my friends. I owe him. But then watch this. He also recovered Lot and his possessions, which means Lot money was in trouble. And based upon what God had done for Lot's finances, Abram said, I owe God. Some of y'all can praise God because not only was your family in trouble at one time, your friend was in trouble at one time, but your finances were in trouble. Somebody here like me have some painful memories of a tow truck. up. She said, baby, what's wrong with you? She said, I noticed many times just watching you would jump. And then in your sleep, you would snatch. What's wrong with you? He said, baby, when I was in Vietnam, every time a shot would go off, it would make me jump. A grenade would go off, it would make me, my head. He said, baby, I'm just having some flashbacks. And it causes me to jump, causes my hair. So when I think about that, it causes me to, and you know what, somebody in church, you find yourself jumping. You find yourself standing up sometimes. Folk want to know what's going on with you. Tell them, I'm just having some flashbacks. I ain't put food on my table. I'm just having some flashbacks. I ain't healed my body and told me I'm just having some. To tell you, baby, don't pay me no mind. When I think of the goodness of Jesus and all he's done for me, my soul. Excuse me if I act a little strange, but I had these flashbacks. Excuse me if I start to stand. I'm having flashbacks. Excuse me if I holler out. I'm just having some. I should have lost my mind, but he kept me. Said, when I look at what God has done for my family, my friends, my finances, and my fitness. But then lastly, he died because of some teaching. He died because of some teaching. Verse 18, Melchizedek, king of Salem, came to him with some bread and some wine. Melchizedek is also his man of God. All right, He came with some bread and he came with some wine. Why? Because he knew Abraham had been battling. And so he wanted to put something back in Abraham. He came with some bread. And that's why many of you all have come here this morning. You came for some bread. Because battling can take a lot out of you. Some of you have been battling for your family all week. You've been battling for your marriage all week. You've been battling for your children all week. You've been battling in your finances. And you came here for some bread. Granddaddy said, bread of heaven, bread of heaven, feed me until I want more. Tell your neighbor I came for some bread. But then he gave him some wine. Wine is symbolic